good afternoon, and welcome to LiNK On. This is the #1 live show with your friends here at LiNK Japan Careers.
And happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Happy
Halloween! Yes.
Okay, this is Michelle, and yeah, I just wanted to say happy Halloween first.
And I'm Reese, and I'm wearing the most terrifying costume of all today, a salaryman who's drank a little too much coffee. So, alright, let's get started.
Let's get started today. We have a lot of things on our agenda.
Yes.
So the first thing, I think a lot of people might have seen with Reese here.
Yeah, so the news I'm going to share, guys, it's actually a bit of a sad one. Large parts of the Shuri Castle in Okinawa have burnt down. And this is a massive loss for, cultural sort of heritage of Okinawa. There were, artifacts in this castle that were going back, 400, 500 years. There's, for those of you who don't know, I myself don't know too much about Okinawa, but I know that Shuri Castle, it's a big spot where they preserve a lot of that traditional heritage, and many Japanese school kids often visit there as part of their, excursion when they go to Okinawa, usually in junior high. So it's really sad. What do you guys think? Have you been to Shuri Castle before? Or?
No,
I've never
I've
been
been
to
there.
Okinawa.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's a pretty big one. So lots of thoughts and prayers to the people in Okinawa. And if you are sort of traveling to Japan and you're thinking maybe I want to go to Okinawa, definitely go to Okinawa and go there and show your support. It's a very beautiful place with a very unique history, even in Japan. It's very unique. There's been a few places actually that I can think in the last couple of years that's sort of been a bit damaged. This is Shuri Castle, but Kumamoto Castle, it got pretty shaken up with the earthquake a few years ago. Have you guys been to that one?
No.
Oh, sure, right? Well, I have, and they've started repairing it, and it's sort of getting better. But yeah, hopefully they'll be able to repair Shuri Castle. Love to know what you guys think. Is there any sort of cultural spots that you guys out there would recommend, and what are some things you think that we could all do to sort of show support for Okinawa? I'd like to know your opinions. That's my topic. Maybe Brian.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah.
So a big one that happened this week, I saw going around a lot on social media, was the video of the incident from Starbucks.
Oh yeah, this one.
And the video's since been taken down. If you haven't seen it, there apparently was a guy who was listening to his music without headphones in the Starbucks, and the staff asked him to stop, and then another non-Japanese person got involved, and so it was two non-Japanese yelling at each other, and both of them were videoing each other. It actually kind of looked silly. I thought it looked silly. And so on the debate I saw online, some people were saying, wow, that guy, he's really, way off.
Which one?
The guy who's played the music guy.
Yeah, the music guy.
He was really off for playing music in his, in his Starbucks.
I agree, actually, Brian. I think there's especially, being non-Japanese, you get under a lot of scrutiny. Everyone's sort of watching you. But I'm gonna sort of, just for the sake of this conversation, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say, maybe, he was just visiting, and in his home country, maybe that's a social acceptable thing to do. Like, what do you think would have been the best outcome, Brian?
I think the best outcome would have been if he had brought a pair of headphones.
Yeah, right.
But that's obviously not what was happening there.
It's sort of an interesting thing because headphones in Japan, for those of you guys who live there, every single convenience store sells headphones, and there are convenience stores everywhere. So I sort of think maybe that's something that we take for granted too, that sort of local knowledge. But yeah, probably listening to music really loud at Starbucks is a bit of a jerk thing to do, honestly.
In a way.
Yes.
And then the other people were saying, well, the other guy who called him on it was the bad guy.
Why though?
Why? Yeah.
Why? I don't know, because these days people just, they feel that way, and
That's like privacy, maybe. Like
Well, you're in a Starbucks, you're not exactly private there.
that's true.
But
What was the outcome in the end, Brian? For those of you,
the Starbucks called the police. And,
Yeah.
and
Oh, man.
they had the music guy thrown out,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And I only concern because the Olympics are coming up,
Yeah.
Mm.
and I really hope that people that come here have more common sense
Mm.
and just choose to enjoy the music in the right way.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Japan's really forgiving. They're very kind, very lovely people. But yeah, you don't want to take advantage of that. There's a time and a place that you could probably listen to music even without headphones
Yeah.
in Yoyogi Park. Yeah, you do.
You actually, you could go down to Yoyogi Park with a speaker and play music loud.
People would love it, yeah.
People would love it, yeah.
Anyway,
So our other item, this I also found on social media, saw it going around, the Tokyo 2020 games. Now we're not speaking ill of the games themselves.
no.
They have posted on their page for staff recruitment,
Mm.
Oh, wow.
right? And they have job offers up here, and with us, we are professional recruiters,
Mm.
and we know we look at a lot of job offers and a lot of job postings every day.
Mm.
And so let's look at the page here.
I'm gonna get it up to.
International Relations Staff Manager, Senior Manager. Let's look at the second job here, right? Okay. Detailed tasks. Position leader of junior member staff. A manager handles the tasks. Okay. Able to work around the clock in shifts during the games. Practical Japanese and English. Working experience. Able to reach consensus. Experience Microsoft Office. Experience large-scale operation of sporting events.
That sounds interesting.
Practical language skills in other languages than Japanese and English. When they say practical language skills in languages other than Japanese and English, it means you must speak Chinese, Korean, or some other language, right? Just to decipher this. And they list the monthly salary of the manager at 235,800 yen per month.
Mm-hmm.
And the senior manager, 347,900. Seems kind of low to me.
Mm.
It's interesting conditions. Bonus twice a year, and the status contract is 1 year in principle. However, it says here to be terminated on the day of the closure of the main business, September 2020. So
I
they're
see.
giving you a 1 year contract
That
that terminates in September after the games. Right? With probation is 3 months. Right. And the working system is on shifts. And a separate shift system will be implemented after July 2020, which means once the games are over, it's anyone's guess how you're going to be working, right? Days off. Saturday, Sunday, it's funny, isn't it? Right? Saturday, Sunday, national holidays, 4 days off every 4 weeks. 4 days off every 4 weeks means that they're actually going to give you 4 days in a row, and you're going to work the rest of those 4 weeks probably. In addition to this, there'll be other leave, blah, blah, blah. And salary, all this different stuff. No, 1 to 20 days pro rata leave. So we were talking about this earlier, and what I think they're going to do is they're going to come in, you're going to work, and at one point it says you have to be able to work for 7 weeks straight, right? And so they're going to have you on that 7 weeks block, and they're going to give you 4 days in each 4 week period probably. So
that's
you'll have probation. Right around the time probation ends, you'll be into the full force of the Olympics. And then when that ends at the beginning of August through to September, they'll probably say, okay, take all your year's vacation now, and then the contract's over. This is a really, really interesting job offer. It's probably the most interesting job offer I've seen.
It is actually very
interesting, right? And it would be great for the right kind of person.
For the right kind of
right?
person.
Who is very motivated to do a job for the resume building or the reputation of it.
You'd get that.
It
Yeah.
would probably be very interesting, and it would be very interesting to be very busy.
That's true.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, from what you said, if that's the case, I think this would be a good job for someone that this is all you want to do. This is all you want to do for the next few months. of your life.
Yeah.
Because if that is indeed true, 4 days off in like in a month, that's incredible. You're just going to be working all the time, and maybe there's like, so you guys are out there that are like, you know what, I'm all about these Olympics. I've waited.
I really want to do this.
I really want to do this,
Right.
and there are definitely locals here that are like that. So if you don't care about your time, I think it might be interesting. Like you said, good resume building, but yeah, these are pretty. It's vague. It's vague, and this is something I would say to everyone out there. Whether when you're looking for work, is always just look at these things. If it's vague, then ask questions,
Yeah.
because you don't want to sign a contract and be locked into something that's just not what it appeared to be.
I think it's even further not what it appears to be.
All right,
Right?
let's hear your take,
This
Brian.
is only my conspiracy theory on it, right? Not actually the truth. I'm not saying this is truth, right? But I think that these positions are posted on the site, but they are already filled. So I think that they have filled these positions with someone that they know,
Yeah.
who has probably come from another organization temporarily to work on this job, and then will then go back to their other organization. This is very common with public works in Japan, and there's some exchange between private industry and public works at that kind of level for events. For example, I know that Japan International Cooperation Agency, that they take people from large corporations, from the Nissans, Toyotas, Mitsubishis, etc. Some people who are mid-managers and such, and they will temporarily leave their company and then go into JICA, and then be in JICA and then go back to their company, so that they didn't lose their tenure in their company.
No.
But they also were able to add being a participant in that, right? So that's what I think this is. I think this is a posting, not really looking for someone to hire, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it looks like they've only got one up now. They've got, and yeah, actually, I mean, we don't want to talk about this for too much longer, but like, it is interesting. They've listed like kind of 4 jobs that are all sort of senior roles, but then it looks like only one of them's open. It's a little hard to read actually in the English, so I might have a look at the Japanese one later. But let's move on.
Okay. So where are we going to go from this?
Well, I think Michelle, tell us a little bit about what's happening in the world of recruiting.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the weird things that candidates do. Well, it might not be weird to them, but yeah, it's definitely things that you should try to avoid at all costs.
Pro tips. Okay, let's hear about the pro tips.
Alright.
Pro tips with Michelle time. Here we go.
Okay, so first of all, I would say, okay, it might seem a little bit minor, but things like correctly punctuating your emails to either the recruiter or if you're in contact with the client. Those are some things that you should watch out for. Making sure that you have the correct spellings when you type in your email. You rather copy paste and make sure that you have people's names correctly spelled. And also, like, sometimes I get emails like, "Dear Sir," and I'm like, okay, I'm not sure though. So if you're not sure about the gender of the person you're writing the email to, I would kind of just stay away from that and either just address them by name, dear blah blah blah, is totally fine. So those are little small tiny things, but that could really, if someone is really really strict and very on point with stuff, that might really slow you down a little bit and hinder you from being successful. And also some of the things would be, so I sometimes have candidates that are a little bit pushy in terms of like updates. Like, we do understand like you want to know what's going on, but also being too pushy, it doesn't make you look that good as well. So yeah, and then
how many days would you say then is a good time, Michelle? Because maybe that these people might be really excited about this job, they just want to know the updates. So how often should they email, do you think?
I would say maybe weekly, like once a week. You could just check in and be like, oh, hey, I'm just checking my email, but like every single day, it's a little bit too much, because definitely if a recruiter has a news concerning your application, they definitely will get in touch with you. And also the other thing I would say is like over the phone or during an interview, sometimes people can be too casual, and that might not be a good thing to do. Like I like talking to people, and sometimes people feel very comfortable with me, but like if someone is to call me names like, I don't know, Han or something like that, it's a little bit not professional. And if you get in the habit of doing
You
that,
guys mind your professional language, Michelle.
so believe you me, I've had candidates call me babe and all of that. It's really not a good look, to be honest.
So what do you do if they call you babe?
I just put them in their place like,
yeah, I know the place you put them in.
Right,
in the garbage.
exactly, because that's just a little bit too much, and it's going outside professional boundaries, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. So you just want to try and be as professional as possible. I know some people come from backgrounds where it's okay to call anybody babe, whether it's at the bank or you go to a supermarket or whatever environment you are in. But being in Japan, it's a little bit of a conserved society, so you don't want to be too casual with things like that. And I don't know if you guys have had encounters with weird candidates as well.
Oh, I mean, we could do a whole talk about that later.
Come on, I used to work at Interact.
Yeah.
I've dealt with plenty of weird people.
Let's see that one for next week with candidates.
Okay.
That's an
Yeah,
interesting
alright.
character.
Alright.
But one thing I'd add too, Michelle, that when I used to do a little bit of recruiting, and this is a good tip. If you're going to send in a resume, please save it as a PDF. Please do not save it as an open Word file.
True.
It's my pet hate. I love to get things in a PDF,
True.
not a
I
Word
agree
file.
with that. I agree with that as well. Like, please, doesn't take you long. Just click save as PDF. And
Yeah,
that's simple, really. So yeah.
that's it. Sorry, my pet grab coming out there.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So basically, to rehash, let's make the list.
Okay.
So be good with grammar.
Definitely.
Be respectful.
Yes.
If you're not sure on personal pronouns, just use to whom it may concern names.
Yes.
Um, Please help me, Michelle.
The hounding,
Submit your
please.
documents correctly.
Exactly.
Submit your documents
This
correctly.
is basically like about the 4th or 5th grade year.
Yeah.
What your teacher would tell you to do, right? To call
Right.
people the right thing, be nice to people, and turn your homework in neat. Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. Basically, right? That's all we're asking, guys.
Or-
It's not difficult at all. And don't hound the recruiter like every single day. What's my update? Like, I understand that sometimes people are in different situations, you have pressure, but it doesn't look good. And as well, I think the other thing that I mentioned was being professional. So please don't get too casual. That wouldn't be a really good look.
All right.
Don't ghost Michelle because she'll get tired.
Right.
She'll get lonely if you don't call at least once a week.
Exactly. So please,
Right.
yeah, I don't like ghosting. And as well, okay, sorry, I also wanted to mention that it's really not a good thing to ghost if you're working with a recruitment agency, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. You might want to reach out again, like, for example, let's say maybe you feel like, this career, or rather this opportunity maybe is not doing as well as I thought it would for me, and you might want to reach out later on. So if you ghost recruitment agency and then later on want to reach out, chances are they don't want to work with you again. So even if you get another opportunity, just send an email. Exactly, just send an email and say, thank you for helping me, but I got another opportunity. If I would like to work with you in the future and I'll be in touch, that's really good. There's no harm in being honest and saying I got another opportunity or I accepted another offer. That's way better than just ghosting. Right, that's the worst you could ever do, because you never know what happens in the future.
We might just have the perfect job, the even better, more awesome, super job next year.
Exactly.
And you want to ditch your job that you just got with the other place and come back to us. So, and Michelle's going to be there. Definitely is going to remember you if you ghost her.
Never forget.
All right. Well, let's talk about jobs now, Michelle.
Right.
What new jobs do we have?
What's on the job board? Let's take a look. Everybody, point your browsers to www.linkjapancareers.net, right? And go to the jobs and let's look at them here.
Okay, so we actually have a new position that opened up, actually positions that open up in education, and I'm super excited about these positions because this positions include a lot of plays, songs. So if you are the kind of person who really likes to teach English, because I know some people maybe don't want to be in a typical classroom setup. So if you're the kind of person that likes to use music, art, dance, sports, that kind of thing, and have a super relaxed kind of classroom setup with different tools and like gym kind of setting for the kids, you would totally love this position. So they're looking for English teacher / entertainer. So if this is your thing, like if you like music, dance, like me, art and that kind of thing, you would honestly love this position. So it's to start in March 2020, but currently we are processing candidates. So the earlier you apply, the better for you, because there's going to be many people interested. So please apply as soon as possible. And yeah, I'm quite excited. So please go to our website and apply. And yeah, I will be speaking with you soon, definitely.
Okay, we're gonna have this isn't up on the board right now, but we're gonna have this up right after the show today, and you can look at it will be job ID number 196. So if you go to linkjapancareers.net/job-listing/ and you enter 196 after that, job number 196.
Yeah.
And it will be titled English Teaching Entertainer.
Yes, because it's all about entertainment. So if you like to entertain people,
It's a very fun job.
right, this would be perfect for you. So yeah, I look forward to speaking to you guys.
Yeah, sounds good, Michelle. What other jobs do we have, Brian? Can you give us a rundown? Do you see anything?
Right, with a lot of the ones that we had from last week.
Software engineers.
New software engineer job that's really it's got high salary potential. Definitely does up to 8 million.
Wow.
And if you are Python, Ruby, PHP, if you're sharp with that, and we're looking for someone with experience with something called REST API, right? And that's one thing we're looking for. Also, we have a general registration link. If you just want to apply for anything, you can use that. Again, we have the same types of IT jobs: development engineer, IT sales consultant, development engineer. We have these testing ones, educational testing ones. These are the test developer specialist, researcher, specialized in test theory and psychometrics. These two are very specialized. If you are a linguist, a lexicographer, you have experience making tests, standardized tests. I'm looking for someone who's, been a teacher, high school teacher, perhaps.
Yeah, high school teacher would be ideal.
Would be ideal, and is ready to move out of teaching and then into something more academic.
Right.
Right. They have a very interesting this company. They have a very interesting system for the selection after you're introduced. So, say we introduce you, they will actually have you do a simulation of making a test question. Right? Making the test question, making the answers, and then they'll, after you're gone, they will critique that and look at it, and then they'll have a second, as I understand correctly, a second go around where you come back and then you meet the actual team that you are going to be working with, and then you do another test question with them, right?
Okay, so they assess your ability to work in a team and
In a team
collaborate.
as well. So that's also a good thing for you, because you will meet these people you're going to be working with.
Yeah,
And
so
so you'll
true.
be able to decide right there, do I feel comfortable around these people or not, right? And so that's an interesting thing. Very few companies, employers have that kind of what they call an inbox test, where you have to do a piece of work and put it in the inbox. Usually only the computing ones and translators and stuff like that have an actual test where you have to do the real job. In labor psychology, they call this realistic performance evaluation, realistic performance expectation evaluation, or something like that. They have some term for it. Other things with game developer, Okay, kids, get your game on here. This game developer, right? That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Web programmer, system development engineer, network engineer, server engineer, system engineer, mechanical engineer, and mechanical engineer major corporation project. These two mechanical engineering jobs are automotive sector.
Yeah.
So if you are into cars, these would be great for you. Okay?
Yes.
If you are the kind of person that really likes cars and that kind of thing. So we have some international school instructors, we have a hotel assistant manager. This hotel we talked about last time is in Miyazaki Prefecture. It's a very scenic kind of onsen-like hotel.
Yeah.
So if you want to get that kind of traditional Japanese hotel job, it's a great thing. We have the area specialist in Okinawa. We have YouTube content creator. We talked about that last week. Business legal office, business development specialist, and film and engineer, another IT. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 hotel jobs. These are all global, large, international hotel chains. Great way to get a start in the hotel industry. A couple of operations and producer for guest houses. We talked about this last week too. Really chill, lots of fun at those guest houses there in Sapporo. Really, they're looking for someone who's a hipster.
It's really
They really are.
It really is like we've gone through the description and we've
We talked about it last week.
Yeah, we did, and I still think that's what they're after.
That's what they're after. Are you really like that kind of cool person? You want to hang out and talk to people, you know,
Sip coffee.
and tell them where the craft beer place is. This is the job, really. It's right. It's right in the middle of downtown Sapporo. Right. More international school teachers and more hotels. Overseas sales, cosmetic sales. We talked about this last week as well. So there, head teacher, and English instructor, tech lead, another IT position. Yeah, and that's at the end of the board. Board's pretty full.
Board is still looking pretty full.
Looking pretty full, guys.
And we've got more coming.
We've got
And more coming.
We've got more coming. Definitely, there's more jobs that are going to be piling in. So we're going to move to the part
Q&A.
of the show where we go to Q&A. And so if you have any questions, just go ahead and write them in at the bottom. We can see them right here. Right now, let's see. I only have one comment from BJ. He just wrote Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Okay, BJ.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Well, if you come to our office and interview with us, there are 2 Starbucks in the building.
Actually, now that you mentioned it, there are 2 Starbucks in this office building, but also it's one of the few Starbucks on the 6th floor where you can get the nitro coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is an experience. It kind of looks like a beer, but it's basically rocket fuel coffee. It's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now I have to try it.
You should. It's great.
Actually, you know the Starbucks over there is the original one.
No way.
The
Oh,
one
is
down
it?
the street is the first Starbucks ever in Japan.
Oh wow.
On the other side of Nova Scotia. Yeah.
Wow,
First Starbucks ever in Japan.
that's interesting.
There you go.
Sure is.
History. You learn so much here.
Yeah. Well, I want to give you guys, the best content you can get. So that's all we have for this week. I don't see any more questions, so we're gonna wrap it up here.
Cool beans.
Guys, www.linkjapancareers.net. Check out our jobs. Check them now. Tell your friends to check them now. All right. See you next week.
See you next time. Happy Halloween. Bye bye.
Happy Halloween.